Why is nobody talking about how unjust the 2K22 ratings are? You have Jay Uso is the same as Jimmy. What's Jimmy done in the last year? Absolutely nothing. He came back and, they're tag champs. Okay, cool. They're twins, so they get the same rating. Disrespectful. On top of the fact that I have a problem with Becky Lynch being the top rated. I have a problem with Becky Lynch being the top rated woman. That's dumb. That's not good. I'm surprised they didn't do Charlotte for one because Vince. On top of the fact, then you have a championship contender in Liv Morgan who's a 77. What person is booking a 77 versus a 92? That's all I gotta say.
You led with the Uso thing?
That would make me upset.
Right now. Of course they're rated the same because they're twins. You gotta be kidding me.
That's not the point.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
Jay's had a better.
They have the same DNA. Why would they not have the same? You gotta be kidding me. You led with that?
Yeah, because that's the biggest. That's the biggest one right there.
It's unbelievable.
I would have knocked a point off for each DUI. All right. Hey everybody, it's Big Papa Grump. Hey, welcome back. Cody Rhodes is gonna wrestle Triple H at WrestleMania, right?
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all.
Well, I'm not buying the Triple H thing because he's like still recovering from a heart attack. Is that a work too?
That was the plan.
I don't see him going back to WWE. I just don't. And if he does, Vince is getting his golden shovel, and he's just as soon as he gets there. Not right away. Not right away. No, he's going to promise him the world. He's got to reel him in, and he's got to be like, okay, fine, we're going to have you main event SummerSlam against Roman Reigns, and then it's like, okay, what's after SummerSlam? Was usually like, they used to be like, okay, and he's going to show up with his bags, and he's going to go to his locker, and he's going to see face paint, and
yep,
and Vince would be like, that's some good shit. If he does WWE, he needs to have a clause that he's not allowed to be Stardust. Like, it has to be in the contract.
Unless he's coming back to be Stardust.
See, yeah.
Would be pretty wild.
That would be stupid.
My first thought was, okay, he's out of his contract. He's just gonna go to Japan. He's got.
That's what I thought. I thought he'd go back to New Japan because he was huge over there. They loved him over there. And on top of that, you have the New Japan World that's running out of LA.
Dude. Right. And then he can also use that to stick around until ROH comes back.
Yeah.
And he could be part of the rebuild for that.
I think if he goes back, it's the downfall. Like,
oh no. He's going to NXT.
I was gonna say he's gonna wrestle Breaker. Or actually, him versus oh my god, I'm losing. Carmelo Hayes would be good.
I mean, there's a lot of people Cody can wrestle. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, heck, look at some of the matches when he had the Nick Aldis match. That was freaking awesome, and that's really when you started getting the whole "we're gonna be elite."
Did you just say heck?
No.
Okay.
I said Nick.
Oh.
Aldis.
Oh, I thought you said, well, oh, heck.
The national treasure.
And I was going to say, oh, God.
The world champion.
If I look real close, I thought it was Phillip Rivers. So anyways, it was like that moment in Age of Ultron where it's like, are we just going to – the captain just told me language. So, yeah, the Brandy part, like her not going with him to WWE, because all reports is that he's due to report to the Performance Center. It's like a done deal according to the IWC. So,
but I just looking earlier, like maybe 10 minutes ago, and they actually said that he's not signing a contract, and there hasn't been anything set in stone yet.
But that's the exact same thing they would say.
I like I said, I just don't think he goes back. I think it's a downfall. I think And I get why
think
there's the issues, 100%, because he started that company because he wanted to build something different, and Tony Khan took over all booking, which is what Cody wanted because his old man is one of the greatest bookers of all time.
Right.
He wanted to have that, and Tony said, "Nah, this is my company. It's my money. It's my dad's money. We're going to do it my way." And I think that's what the issue.
Also, if you take a look, you haven't heard anything from like the Bucks or Omega about the booking because I think they figured Tony was right. Because you got to take a look at some stuff, the early Dark Order stuff, some of the early factions like the whatever Brandy Rhodes and Nyla and all that. Like that was terrible. There was a lot of like your main stories, like your Omega, Jericho, that stuff was great, but a lot of it was like, and I think Tony got tired of hearing like a lot of the criticism and the talent that were working as bookers. They kind of backed off because they're like, yeah, okay, Tony's got a better handle on this. And
but I think the other part too, but with what you're saying, yeah, some of that stuff. But I think I question how much of that was Tony going, well, what can we do to set ourselves apart? And that, like, because you don't know who booked those. We don't know who booked the Dark Order stuff. We don't know who booked the Nightmare Collective. I mean, we can assume it was Cody because, hey, I got to get my wife on TV. But that could have been Brandy backstage going, Tony, I got this great idea. And Tony at that point was throwing every idea out there that he could get because he was trying to create something.
True.
Because it makes sense. You're starting up. You don't have any backstory leading into why or who or what. And if you're not an independent wrestling fan, you didn't know 95% of the guys on his roster. Right. If you didn't know Joey Janela had the spring break at every WrestleMania and you actually knew who the guy was, he shows up on your TV screen. You're like, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. Sonny Kiss, the same way. Sonny Kiss got famous because of YouTube videos and stuff that she would put out. He put out, that Sonny put out doing heels in subways and doing wrestling moves and Hurricane Ranas. And that's how popular, that's where the popularity grew. But you didn't know who Marco Stunt was. You didn't know who Jungle Boy was. You didn't know any of that stuff because it was not mainstream guys. This was Cali Indies. This was lower level indies that you were pulling out of. So Tony might have just been throwing ideas. We don't know who booked.
Sorry, my phone was just reminding me of the extra session that I booked for this. All right.
Back to the Brandy thing, though, it would make sense if he goes to WWE that she doesn't come, because I think the original reason she was let go or left or whatever, anyways, was because she wanted to do in-ring stuff and they had zero interest in it.
Yeah.
And I don't really think she would be able to keep up with anybody in that company, to be honest.
There's a few. You put her down in NXT and put her with the Performance Center, they'll get her up to the WWE level of things. But you know what I mean? Like that's sorry, we're no longer
probably more
partaking of cigarettes in our house.
My guess she's probably more interested in the TV side of things than anything else. She'll probably go for, support Cody along the way, kind of do her own thing. That'd be my guess.
I honestly don't think they're gonna because he was getting a lot of popularity with even the Fuego Dos stuff, and people were like, "Come on!" But it was fun, and you could tell he was actually having fun. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be one thing that's going to limit him from being in WWE because he wasn't having fun when he was there, and a lot of those guys are saying the same thing. We're not having fun.
Right.
It's a business. It's not for fun. It's a business, and that's what's going to, I think, ultimately lead him back as like maybe they book a storyline that he's trying to take over Tony's power. Something, you know what I mean? I can't see him going. And if he does, I really don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Well, I guess the other thing that could be an option is they could negotiate some sort of one-shot deal with him. Like just get that WrestleMania pop. Get that little lead up. I mean, he could come in as the I mean, you could do a million things with Cody, really, but you know,
Right.
if you bring him in as a heel, you know, he's already wearing suits, so you know he's
got that neck tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Like between those two things, he's just a walking heel to begin with. So you bring him in like that. You bring him in talking about being rich and you know I built companies and you know I didn't want to win. The reason why you know you guys know I didn't want to win now the title because I want you know this is the only title I want. And he challenges you know the champion at the time and you know then they book that till WrestleMania. He goes down and then he goes to New Japan. He does what he wants. You know,
Or could it be?
Or he wrestles Veer Mahan.
Well, that's I mean, does it get any bigger? Is the question.
They show up. No, they show up together. He's like, I've had him the whole. He was with me the whole time.
I had the whole time.
I mean,
You guys kept leaving him at the arena. I found him.
Or could this be a work too in the fact that they're trying to broaden the forbidden door? Like, could it be Cody's, you know, going out trying to do that, or is he just going to pop up and be the forbidden door for the AEW? He's just going to randomly show up where he wants to show up when he wants to show up, and ultimately starts bringing back other talent. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different stuff that you could put out of this.
Sure.
Trying to remember
we were all pretty. Is it safe to say we were all pretty surprised at the news? Is that safe to say? Everybody?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was.
Yeah, I think I was more shocked. In my head, I thought, well, he'll never leave because he's got to have some sort of stock option or some sort of minority stake in the company. You know, being an EVP, you know, I'm thinking, well, why would you leave? Like, you know, you're tied with the company for life. It doesn't make any sense. But, you know.
Yeah, why would you leave before the video game finally comes out?
Right? So he can be in 2K22. I'm telling you. It goes all back.
Oh, no, he's just trying to get in both games.
Yeah, right?
But he even tweeted out that, like, after the news broke, he even tweeted out that said, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I like it here. And I'm just like, okay.
Right.
I mean, yeah, and Chris Jericho wasn't supposed to be at the Rumble that one year, and you know, like, you know, we've been working before.
New Japan stuff.
All right, so getting away from Cody because again, neck tattoo.
That's still so stupid.
The worst.
It looks so dumb.
Like, I don't mind neck tattoos. I just mind that one.
Yeah, well, that one's really stupid.
Really bad.
But is it to the level of when Brock came out with the chest tattoo? Because remember how bad that was when it first,
No, Brock Lesnar can tattoo whatever he wants on him. Have you seen that guy? He's big.
That was after the diverticulitis episode, I think, too, right?
I mean, that tattoo, when he first came back and had that tattoo, I was like, oh my God. The wild. Dumbest thing ever. That was terrible.
I'll never tell
I still don't like that tattoo.
Yeah. By the way, if by chance he ever sees this, I have his address. Let me know. I will. If it will save my life, I will gladly sacrifice his.
Just make sure you send Paul Heyman to my front door first.
So Paul Heyman can like announce you answer the door, and he's like, you know, he just starts going into his spiel.
Oh yeah, like
raiding, defending. Meanwhile, he's out there adjusting your garden gnomes.
I guess it would be worth it to get. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take a beating for that one. Have Paul come and give me a whole promo, and I'll be like, I don't care. F5 me in the middle of the road. It is fine. I will take it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so
we have to get another.
So I saw it on. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to edit that out because there's a child on camera. What was it? Crap, I forget what I was gonna say. I was gonna change topics too, but there was something else. Oh yeah. So there's a couple of other things that kind of were breaking over the last day or so. One was Austin wrestling, apparently Cody.
Wait, what? I didn't hear the Cody part.
No,
of that.
I just made that up.
All I've heard was Owens because of the anti-Texan thing.
Right. Owens was kind of building that, but then there's also word got out. I think it was, I don't know if it was a Sean Ross Sapp thing or wherever, but I saw a Cultaholic video where they were talking about there's apparently another big, like, of the level of Austin WrestleMania appearance, and it's not Dwayne.
It's Cody. What? Wait, yeah, has to be. Like, there's nobody else that could be.
But this was alongside the Cody nose, so I was like,
who could that be?
Because if you're going Austin, right?
Yep.
You've got Brett, who's in no physical condition to wrestle.
I wouldn't want to see that at all.
No. Dwayne, who's Dwayning elsewhere.
Yeah.
Foley, no condition to wrestle, and plus I'm not quite sure.
I don't even know if Austin's in a condition to wrestle the way that it sounds. So,
I mean, Edge came back, so
yeah, there was a rumor that Austin bought a ring like in August or something like that for his house.
Yeah.
Decent kid. We're talking neck injuries.
But so is it Bray?
But you're missing one big name, and that's
I'm missing
Cena.
a few big names like the Undertaker, Triple H,
Cena,
Hogan. Yeah, but Cena was just back, and so they wouldn't be.
Yeah, but
if it was Cena, they would be like, John Cena's coming back. You know, they always announce Cena.
But why would you do that? Because right now, and I mean, in all honesty, look at the ratings, look at the trend. Like WWE's on the downside. So if you're going to bring back
most television is, but yeah,
but Cena's going to bump you up because
I don't buy it. Cena.
If I turn heel, that's 10 years worth of stories right there. Because
that wouldn't be the thing. If they were going to turn Cena heel, they would have Cena coming back, so all the eyes are on it, and then they do the swerve, and then everybody's like, so.
I mean, could it be a female talent? Like, I mean, Trish, because Lita's back, but I don't. What would that accomplish? Like,
I think historically speaking, as far as women wrestlers coming back on an Austin level,
it would.
The closest one would have been. I think the closest one would have been China, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that can't happen.
Yeah,
I mean, I think your biggest missing pop for nostalgia would have to be Trish because you have Lita right now.
Unless it's the Undertaker because he's trying to get that farewell in front of people instead of
that's true
at the Thunderdome or whatever.
But that's a scary situation too because who does he wrestle and how is he gonna look? Because we've seen him decline, unfortunately, just because of his age. Sure. He's not.
I mean, if you do something like they did with Cena where he just squashes him. Kurt. Yeah. Kurt
would be one too for a little bit.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just as long as he comes out to the Ruthless Aggression song. I don't want to hear him come out to anything the Ruthless Aggression song.
But I don't think it would be him either because they were talking about him possibly coming back. Word got out. So if
they could have also
they would have been like, oh, yeah, no, we are bringing Kurt back. We just didn't do it then because we didn't like it.
They could swerve it because there was supposed to be a planned WrestleMania moment for him. Maybe oh, no, that doesn't happen. And that's part of the thing is they tried to kill it so that you kind of are more shocked when it actually happened because maybe it wasn't supposed to get out. They do that sometimes because they think we're stupid.
I mean,
it's done for the casual fan. The casual fan. The hardcore we don't matter. The casual fan.
The hardcore fan's always there.
That's true. That's true.
Through thick and thin. We're gonna boo when we want to boo. We're gonna scream when we want to scream.
Yeah,
the casual guy.
Cody.
Cody.
Cody Rhodes is an American treasure.
Nightmare. You
It
mispronounced
would be
Nightmare.
very interesting if he did come and he was heel, because wasn't his whole thing he never wanted to turn heel because of his charity work? So that would be very cool to see, because that would just be like another up yours to Khan if you're Vince.
Yeah, but see, I don't think that you're going to get a FU to Khan. I just don't. I think
I don't either.
I don't either. But
Well, I mean, from
could think
Vince,
that.
yes.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
from
gonna
Vince.
say,
But I don't see Cody signing off on that. I don't. I think
Right.
he'd be like, with that, just let sleeping dogs lie. Just let him alone. I'm here for me, not for you to go. Bah, look, I got your biggest talent, when it really isn't your biggest talent.
Yeah, I got you. You got me all summer, and that's it. You know, because I don't think he's signing long term if he does either. I think he's coming back to butter up Vince, and maybe he'll get them to relax on some of those copyrights he's been trying to get.
yeah, right.
Well, didn't he got most of them, didn't he?
He got some of them. I wouldn't say most necessarily.
But the big ones that he wanted, he got the
No,
Rhodes.
the big ones the ones that he really wanted, he can't get at.
Actually, I
Like
think the
War
ones that he
Games,
wanted
stuff like
are
that.
the NXT ones now, like the
Yeah.
Great American Bash, and like all those ones that they made NXT TV ones were the ones that he wanted, I think. Or, like
Yeah,
the
like
big
Great
one.
American Bash, Starcade,
Yeah. Well, they got no, they didn't
War
get that.
Games. So, yeah.
things.
So let me see. How much time do we got?
Wait, what?
It doesn't tell me. There should be a counter. All right. Just waiting for everybody to get back in frame. You were eating on camera last time.
I'm trying not to this time.
Yeah, there's like, hey, everybody, Big Pop Grump. He's like,
I mean, because I could easily just.
Preston the hell out of it.
yeah. So,
Oh, I want him slow mo just for that part. Like the Preston Vance off the Ethan Page vlog. Oh, it's so great. It's one of my favorite parts of every one of his vlogs is when they do that.
So when we come back for session 2, I want to talk a little bit more about like Dynamite, and plus I want to go into you know what? Screw Dynamite, because nothing happened.
So we should have like 10 more minutes if it started at 8 because it's 30.
Yeah, fair. And I can cut this here. All right, because I want to save the second part for our actual board picks for Elimination Chamber. It's so weird doing picks for a Saudi show because they've never been canon, anyways.
Well, is that what? Yeah, we were doing that today, right?
Yeah. They were due
Are we
today.
supposed to have not just Golden Blue, but aren't we supposed to have Uppercut at some point too?
He couldn't make it. Hold on, let me give you his excuse real quick.
I'm intrigued because he always has one.
He said, I just got out of the dentist and my mouth is killing me. I'll be MIA tonight. Should have had Dr. Britt Baker working on me. I almost answered with, sorry, I'd rather have Jamie hate. Like the only one in that crowd I'd rather have near me is Jamie Hader. And I was like, okay, Sean will roast you, I'm sure.
Well, I figured there was some sort of excuse.
So maybe next week. But he did send me his picks. Actually, I'm trying to think who else sent me
next
picks.
week. It'll be maybe
Because,
next week until we are done with the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I got Shez picks. I got. Okay. Yeah, we have 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, so I just saw it pop up too.
I got Tigers.
I'm waiting.
Sean, did I get yours?
Mine are the
Yeah, little Sean.
yeah, because you questioned my leader pick.
That's right. Yes, that's why. And then I got John's, which I'm thinking about just forgetting I saw, because motherfucker keeps winning.
I'm still ahead.
I know.
Doesn't he have the Money in the Bank still too?
No. I thought
No. We have it's Elimination Chamber, then WrestleMania.
No,
Does he have the money back? No, Sean has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the one where he beat me out by one match on that pay-per-view to win Money in the Bank.
Mm.
Right. Yes. Now shut up. We have 9 minutes. Okay. So AEW I liked Punk's promo. I like how it started out like he was gonna just go full heel in that promo, and then he veered it this way. I thought it was kind of cool. And MJF, I thought was great in that segment.
His expressions were phenomenal.
Yes, I love the picture.
He sold that well, and I think honestly that with the promo, the biggest part that I liked about it is when he talks about I lost a piece of my soul in cage matches. I've won more than I've lost, but I want to take something from you. And just the delivery was so perfect. But the fact that he just kept tapping the box the entire promo, and it was very subtle, but it was that, yep, it's right in here, everybody. I know you want to know, but you're not going to find out yet. But I think those two will give you a good dog collar match because they're hard to do.
Yes.
Like really pull off. But I think if anybody can pull it off, MJF and Punk, I think, are going to give you one of the ones that in the years to come, you'll be like, yeah, that probably was one up there with like the top 4, top 3, top 2.
Yeah, I agree. They're just old school enough together to make it work.
Right. And I like that, that you got the Piper in Portland and all like the little, and giving those little nuances. Maybe we're going to see some of that stuff. Because, I mean, you go back, there's some good ones in history. Mm-hmm. And then there's some that are just.
Oh, they're trash. Yeah.
I think more often than not, they're boring.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you get that gem.
Yep.
Well, which one was the Four Corners match? Do you remember that? Is it the strap match? The original strap matches were you had to slap
all
corners.
All 4 corners. Yep.
But dog collar, you're allowed to use the chain. And that was like it's just pinfall or submission. That's the way.
Yep.
And I think that's going to open up that story a whole lot better.
And somehow it's no DQ, but somehow they're going to count rope breaks.
They did that with the Thunder Rosa. I was pissed.
That was my segue because while I hated that, one, I enjoyed the match, and two, how in the hell did they manage to turn Martinez's face? Like,
you know what? That was really, really. First off, I'm not a John Kreese fan, so like I could care less. Finisher, shut up. If I want to hear somebody say finish him, I'm gonna go play Mortal Kombat. Shut up. I don't want to. For real. But the way they put that over, because the thing is it goes back to the same thing. Tony likes smart fans, and Mercedes has always been for most of her career just a stone cold female. She was a badass. She would brawl. She would fight. She was dirty. But at the end of the day, she was always the good guy. You always pulled for her because she stood up for the right things. You kind of went, and I think the fact that they pushed her to Thunder Rosa. Now, I'm not saying I want don't be a faction, don't be whatever, but let those two just go. After out Hater, take out Rebel, take out. I mean, I don't think you touch Britt yet, but I say take out those first two, just to kind of, and then
tired of seeing Jamie Hater lose.
Turns and goes, Rosa, it's your shot.
She's supposed to take the belt off of Britt.
Rosa's going to be the one to do it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because I mean, they're all out of the last 42 matches. Thunder Rosa's 40-2, and her only 2 losses. Blah blah. You know what I mean? Yeah, we get it.
Although they're hyping up the fact that has Britt Baker ever beaten Rosa? Because when they wrestled the first time, Rosa won.
Yeah, but the unsanctioned match, is quote unquote not in the record books.
No. Yeah, which is why Cole's still undefeated.
That's right, because
So there's like there's no.
Yeah, it worries me when they hype up the fact that somebody's never beat somebody, because then typically that means that person would then win.
Yeah, because she had never beaten Riho and she beat Riho.
Yeah. I mean, I know AEW doesn't really follow a lot of the tropes that you see with other, with WWE, but it does sometimes they do ones that it's like very similar, and it's like that's one of the ones that I've had noticed. It's like, oh, you know, the best friends always lose, but Orange Cassidy won the unsanctioned. They do that a lot that I've noticed. Although I hope it stays with CM Punk can never beat MJF. I don't want him to get the win back. I think it'd be huge for MJF if he beats him twice.
Well, you know what I was thinking that too. If you're going to do the dog collar match, we're getting closer and closer and closer to the Wardlow split.
Yeah,
because I mean they've been teasing the hell out of that.
Yeah,
but that even in like him going on the radio and talking to talk shows, he's dropping little seeds and little nuggets along the way, saying, "Yeah, this is coming. I just don't know when yet." So you could see like, and if you really want to do it, because he said, you know, he sticks to that John Moxley beat me by cheating. Have Wardlow come out, destroy MJF because he's just tired of it. You get Wardlow the major face push. You give Punk a win.
right.
It's weak-ish,
MJF,
but you keep MJF as saying, "I've never lost clean. I've never lost."
Yeah,
Right.
It almost seems like they're going to put Wardlow in the position that they were trying to put Brian Cage in, where that big, powerful heel that is getting a face turn against his fact, because they tried that with Brian Cage because when he went up against Team Taz.
Ricky. Yeah, Ricky started. Yeah. But
And it seems like they're retelling that story because Wardlow is way more over than Brian Cage was, unfortunately.
Mm.
And not only that, I think they've been teasing this because we all know Tony loves long storytelling.
Yeah.
He loves long term, and he's been. They've been teasing this. Christ, since back at the Moxley point, right around the Moxley match, I think they started teasing the whole Wardlow not being okay with it, and he always gave you that facial expression when MJF would call him in to do his dirty work. He was all right, whatever. And come in, destroy, and leave. So, that's something that we should actually talk about.
Oh, about Braun and EC3 starting their own company.
Yeah, the Control Your Narrative. And they're saying they're doing live tour and they have a television thing coming or whatever like that. I'm actually excited.
God, if it's on Axis.
Probably. I mean, it's probably easy to get onto.
Yeah. I mean, Impact did it.
Fucking Impact did it.
Stop trying to sneak on the video.
Just to give you a heads up on where I stand with Impact. We picked Thursdays to record this because my rationale was there's no wrestling on TV on Thursdays. I
want to see Sammy come back. I really do. I'm looking forward to that.
You want to see who come back?
Callahan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot. I didn't know what happened to him. I thought he got like cut or left.
No, he broke his ankle.
Oh,
yeah, he broke his ankle during a match.
Okay, so he's hurt. I just honestly had no idea what happened.
Yeah, so he had surgery and all that. But I actually listen. I that is one wrestler that I think WWE really missed the boat on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like that was like that. What was it? Solomon Crow. Yes, Solomon Crow.
Yeah.
Terrible because they never really gave him anything, and that finisher was horrible.
Yeah,
it's a slingshot body drop, but like he leans up against the ropes and throws himself. What? That's just
kind of like how it's not the same move, but like very like boring, like the Wasteland was for Barrett till they changed it up.
Yeah,
same concept to me. It's like I can't really get behind this. And then Barrett just started elbowing people, and it was a lot cooler.
Okay, no more Impact talk. They used to have a 6-sided ring. We're not.
I was talking about WWE.
Yeah.
Listen, I was the biggest fan of that generation when they had the 6-sided ring because it was different, and it wasn't the same. It went back to the same thing. I'm not watching TV and getting the same 7-8 guys shoved down my throat every week. Like Chris Sabin. I loved watching Chris Sabin matches. They were great to watch.
All right. So speaking of having the same people shoved down your throat, Roman Reigns is wrestling this weekend. So we're gonna do our Elimination Chamber picks, and we're gonna start with probably the pre-show. So will be Rey Mysterio versus The Miz, and I believe are we still wrestling for the custody of Dominic?
Yes, actually, Miz has always wanted a son. He just keeps having daughters.
Is this like an eye for an eye custody match?
Eye for an eye custody match. Oh man, that'd be something.
Okay, first of all, show of hands, who actually cares about this match?
I do slightly. The only reason I care is I want to see if somehow this leads to Dominic turning on Rey. I don't know why they would do it in Saudi, but I would like to see them plant a seed with it.
I think that's if that's going to happen, I think that might be a WrestleMania thing because I think the plan is Dominic and The Miz at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I want to see if maybe he plants a seed. But how do you get to Dominic versus? Never mind. That's part of the pick. Never mind.
But I'm picking Miz.
Yeah, I was gonna say so am I. I was gonna say, how do you get to Dominic versus Rey if you don't have Miz win? Almost jumped the gun on that.
Shez?
Winning, but I did think I probably should have picked Miz, but I also don't care enough.
I felt too.
This is not
fair.
It doesn't matter.
Fair.
There's a couple matches on here I do not care about whatsoever.
Whatever they want to do to get the Dominic Miz is fine. Knock yourself out. It's fine.
Coco?
I went with Rey.
Okay, well, that's all we got to say about that, I think.
I could see it just because of Saudi pop. You usually have the older guys go over.
But the only bad thing is, because that match, like, that's another one, like what Shez said. I really don't even care.
Yeah.
Because that's like, out of all the storylines we have right now, that's the one I'm least invested in. I didn't like it when they did it with Eddie. I really didn't. It was.
I didn't either.
Back then, it was like, okay, I get it. But I thought it was a very poor taste. I thought it was a dumb, just stupid storyline.
Perfect segue. Speaking of stupid storylines,
Madcap
Moss versus Drew McIntyre.
This one I don't care about either at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking Drew because I have a feeling we're part of me thinks that we're going to get it's going to be Drew the Claymore versus the Deep Six at WrestleMania. So this is just going to be another.
I think
again, I won't watch. I don't care about it.
But my thing is, well, yeah, I guess Drew would have to go over to get to that point but I just the Falls Count Anywhere makes me sad. Or is that where it is? Yeah, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. That makes me worried.
Oh, you could just impale him on a desk and pin him.
Well, no, but because it's a Falls Count Anywhere, there's the Corbin thing. I picked Drew as well, but I could see them doing something stupid.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I have no faith in Saudi shows.
I mean, they are glorified house shows, but this one feels different.
Yeah.
It hits different, you could say.
Yeah. Together. Okay, first of all, we got to talk about the fact that they added voices to their then now forever thing.
Yeah, that was creepy. I didn't like that.
Because wasn't expecting it. Like, Chicago PD had just ended, and I'm sitting there just kind of fiddling with my phone, and I hear, "Dang, what now? What is happening?"
Forever.
Okay, and nobody else wants to get their 2 cents in on that crap match.
I took Drew.
Yeah, me too.
I
feel like Drew's gonna be unanimous.
Yeah.
Riddick Moss he's good.
Yeah.
But that's just,
I don't like his character whatsoever right now.
It's just
no. I mean, I didn't even like it when he was a 24/7 guy because, in all honesty, that was kind of just one of those. Hey, this guy fits the bill for what we always use. Here, take him, use him. I don't care what you
just uppercut picked him, and so far Drew's unanimous.
That's going to be the one that ruins all the perfect boards because they're going to do something stupid. I guarantee you, if anything ruins a perfect board, it's that match.
I haven't gotten Kevin's picks yet, so if anybody, he would be the most likely to.
Well, if he doesn't show up on here and he doesn't send his picks, if I'm not mistaken, the board always makes the picks for you, and 95% of the time, it's either Macho Man, Mr. Perfect, or I'm
gonna give him a little bit of time.
All those... Wait, weren't they due today?
Because I'm sure his plan was that he was going to attend this and then give his picks on camera. So I'm going to badger him like crazy as soon as we're done.
It says by 6 p.m. Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
It's 9.
I got you.
It's 6 in Cali. You're going to give him Cali time.
I mean, I may even give him Hawaii. So, okay. So what's that?
Can we give him the Saudi time?
That means he's been late.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was like a week ago.
He's a day behind.
Yeah.
All right. So, the last match of no consequence: Usos versus Vikings, Viking Raiders. I mean, I don't see the Viking Raiders winning unless it's like a screwy finish where they win by DQ or something.
But there's no point to that because then the Usos would just get it back. Because I'd much rather have the Bloodline having the belts going into Mania. Like I don't.
The Viking Raiders do nothing for me. I mean, nothing.
They're great, and that sucks.
Yes,
because
when they were in ROH, it was hard not to watch a match. Like you walk by, and all of a sudden you see this big dude do a cartwheel. Granted, it's not a good cartwheel. Right, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Otis could do
a cartwheel, and it's like, wait, what? And then you see Rowe with it, and I mean, I just again wasted talent. Yeah, wasted talent. Like, but I picked the Usos because I think the best storyline we have is the Bloodline going in.
Yeah,
and that's across the board. Both shows, Bloodline is by far the best storyline.
I mean, you could have it collapse at Mania where they all lose. I don't know if you would, but I can't imagine you have part of it screw up here. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope it's not part of it. Even if it's not the Usos who lose the belt, I really hope somebody doesn't. So I've seen Saudi shows.
Okay, so Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Flair and Sonya Deville.
Okay. My thing with this, and this, I'm gonna have this one wrong because I went with Flair and Sonya because I feel like you have to have, and like I assume Naomi takes the pin. There's like no way,
right?
You're not having Ronda lose unless she gets counted out for some dumb reason,
right?
But I feel like you have to have the heels go over here so the faces winning at Mania feels better. But then you have that whole, well, Ronda just came back. Why would you have her lose?
And plus, you're in Saudi.
Yeah, but
that's the I was going to right there. You're in Saudi, and she just came back.
Yeah,
like
I
honestly picked Ronda and Naomi, but I'm thinking we're getting a DQ here, and this is going to be a no contest or something.
I'll tell you,
it's going to be a brawl on the outside, all four counted out, whatever. Yeah. Like, and because that's the one thing. Like, I really hate picking those matches because you don't know when they're going to throw it. But here, it almost makes sense to throw it right there.
Yeah.
Do the DQ, get it out. You know what I mean? So you still have plenty of time to build your story.
It'd be kind of interesting if Naomi gets DQ'd doing something to Sonya. That'd be kind of cool because there's weird things they can do where it protects everybody. Because you're not having Ronda or Flair take a pin here. If you're having a clean finish, it's either Sonya and Naomi, and it's probably one of them pinning the other. Unless you have Charlotte pin Naomi or Ronda pin Sonya, whatever. But I don't know. I don't like these.
I think you have something screwy go on with Sonya though, because the Sonya, the dipping and dodging Naomi, it just makes sense to have her be the DQ. Like, you know what I mean? Naomi gets the DQ win because Sonya does something. Just because it's going to keep filling the storyline.
Or, of course, because the whole, like, not GM, but GM thing, you could have Sonya call for the DQ because Naomi did something cheeky. There's too much.
Yeah, I like what you did there.
Yeah, it's a lot of ways.
Okay.
The sound of your goo job.
Review is stupid.
You can even do, like, if you wanted to go full heel, you can even have Flair just say, I'm done, and leave.
That's true, too.
Leave Sonya with those two. Because Sonya can, you know, she can afford getting beat up because she's, you know, because she's this snarky, you know, squirrely GM that don't
I'm not gonna lie.
take my jacket off.
I would actually like to see Sonya versus Ronda at some point.
Yeah,
right.
You give them legit.
I really would.
I would too.
I just want to see Sonya versus somebody who's not Naomi.
I wanted to see Sonya,
yes,
Ronda when Ronda was originally there the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too.
I didn't like
Ronda. She was more with her MMA look anyway.
Yeah.
So that would have been actually really good, but whatever, I'm doing what I want.
I just want 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. Give me the goddamn match. I've been waiting for 10 years.
A little late.
They're all gone now.
Yeah, half of them are gone.
I want it back.
Half of the one
want them
side.
to
I mean,
go.
the other ones are still there. But all right. So who do I want to? We'll go. Okay. I'm gonna turn this one over to Junior. Explain why Lita's winning.
Okay. I don't know. DQ for one. Becky might get DQ'd because whatever we saw on Monday was stupid. I don't understand the entire concept. I don't like Becky begging not to be in this match. That was dumb. That whole segment could have been erased and I would have been happy. I don't know if Lita per se wins the title. I doubt that. I mean, that'd be cool. One last run, give her 5th. I mean, whatever. Saudi pop because fucking Saudi. But I feel like because this one I'm just picking Lita because I'm worried about something stupid happening. So like Becky gets counted out or Becky leaves or Becky, gets DQ'd. There's some, I don't know if I think it's a normal match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and Becky has this weird, I looked hungover and just had 7 kids thing on Raw. So I don't know what the hell happened. So
there's been a lot of that lately. I honestly, the Ronda thing, that was rough to watch. And then they retaped it just to make sure it didn't look the way it did. And
yeah,
there's been a lot of rough spots leading up to this whole Mania.
Oh, yeah. These Saudi shows they're like, I don't like having a show that's supposed to be big because they promote it like it's a big 4 because they're trying to do the Saudi money, but they didn't give them time to promote anything, like build anything, sorry. And you're doing too much stuff right before Mania. So I don't really like, that's why the whole I don't like Charlotte and Ronda being in a match together. I don't like,
you got 2 nights to fill.
Yeah.
You got 2 nights to fill. I mean, that's the biggest thing is with that second night, you got to get, I mean, we all know they play in WrestleMania right after WrestleMania.
Right.
So you already kind of know you have a general. Well, so give me Roman Reigns. Yeah, Vince, we know. We know.
It's pretty obvious. Long as it's not out for anything.
Give me I like that Rollins guy. Rollins. Give me Rollins. I want him on the main event too. Like they start planning that ahead of time. With 2 nights, you got to throw in filler matches because last year's Mania you had probably 4 per night, where it was really like,
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So who else is picking Lita?
No.
Okay.
I said, it might not be
we'll move on.
No, but
Listen, if you get the Lita win, you deserve that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time I do this, it doesn't work, but I'm picking screwy finish. Whenever I pick it, it never happens.
Yeah, because you always pick it with Dolph.
No, the last one I did was Madcap going over Drew last time because I thought they were going to do something stupid with Corbin. And
Yeah.
they did it.
All right. So Roman versus Gorg.
When did Rhino come back? No.
Yeah, when did Rhino come back? Yeah, in the Battle of the Best Spear, which we also had against Edge and and Bobby
Well, see,
Lashley.
you can't do it because
Give
you have to have
me
Roman
Bruce.
Charlotte for Battle of Best Spear. What? Bring Caitlyn back.
Yeah. So she can land on her knee. I mean, Edge does that too, so I mean, I guess I can't say nothing. So, all right.
No Goldberg because Saudi Arabia. No, I
Oh,
picked Roman.
no. Put that in. He picked it. He got picked.
There's a text group. There's a text group I have.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got digital proof that was him being facetious. I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they put the belt on Goldberg because
Won't
Saudi.
you say that? Because it could happen.
Yes, exactly. So
Is this a normal match too? Like, there's no DQ or whatever. Or
I don't believe so.
Straight up,
No.
champ.
Oh God, that won't work.
God.
There we go. You can see Roman.
Right.
I don't have verification that that's him. I don't have verification that's him. Nelson picks.
Can't prove it.
Well, I can't show you the name because I mean it's bad enough we use first names. But let me see.
All right.
Can I
I concede.
cover it and get it to work?
There we go.
All right, anyways. If I accidentally called you, it's because I clicked something. All right, never mind. All right, so by the way, on a quick little aside, when I got the flat at the end of the intro to the last one where I was making fun of Golden Boy, and I put the text message of I just got home late or whatever, it took me like 3 hours to figure out how to get that from my phone onto my computer because it wasn't working. Figured out it was something stupid and simple with my phone. But anyways, okay, so but yeah, like I'm picking Roman because you're not gonna take, I mean, unless you're gonna take the belt off him and have him win it back on like SmackDown. But you don't want to end his reign. And plus it's Goldberg's only got one match left on his deal or whatever.
Yeah, unless they renegotiated, like, hey, you're gonna win, so I need you to have a Mania match where Brock beats you.
Goldberg be like, hold on, let me call my kid. He said it's fine.
You'd have to negotiate that ahead of time, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh no, but it's Vince.
Right. Which is great. Cashing in off somebody else's cash cow.
Definitely Roman. I'm picking Roman as well.
Yep. There's no other way.
All right, so we'll go men's elimination chamber. So we got Bobby Lashley, Riddle, Seth freaking Rollins, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, and is he just Theory now, or is he back to being Austin Theory?
Austin Theory.
Okay. All right, just double checking. I
Actually, when you messaged me that like Austin was gonna have a match at Mania, I was like, yeah, I would hope Theory would be on the card somewhere.
Yeah, I hope he's on it.
I was like, I assume so.
Not that one.
Austin Theory just like smacking juice boxes together.
I'd be so down for that.
It's gotta be Ecto Cooler. Oh wait a minute, I have to explain to Junior what Ecto Cooler is. So
The best Kool-Aid flavor of all time.
Ecto Cooler High C was the bomb.
Yeah.
How about we do it this way? So we always pick two. Who's your other pick besides Brock?
Bobby.
I went with Styles.
I went with Seth.
I went Bobby.
I just assumed everybody had Brock as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with Bob, and I think the reason why I went with Bobby is because Vince actually is giving him the faith now. Like, we all kind of saw what he was capable of with the whole Umaga thing. He could have been a top tier guy then. But I think Vince is finally like, yeah, you're good. Like, I think he's like giving him the blessing. Yes, you are almighty.
I think the only thing he proved with that Umaga feud was that he's a crappy barber.
And this is funny because we were talking about yeah, that's true. Me and my one buddy were talking about, it's like, how if Brock loses, how does he get out? And I was like, you have a scapegoat. You have Seth, because Seth has beaten Brock multiple times. I don't know if it would damage anything if you had him eliminate him. But I mean, you could hit a phenomenal forearm, hit a spear, hit a theory bomb.
A selfie.
Shoot him with selfies. You know.
I like that. I actually like that when he goes, "This is my favorite selfie of all time," and it's even after it was Brock beat the hell out of him. It's like still of all time.
I think what a lot of people missed was after Brock put the hat on him and then put the coat on him and turned, in the background you just see Theory was just like, everybody's focused on the one that Brock took with him.
That's funny.
I think Theory gets out first, though, just as like a side pick.
My biggest question going into this match, because I've been thinking about it, was, do we finally get that moment?
Riddle and Brock?
Yes. But if they do that and they only do it over there, that's no disrespect to Saudi fans. But if they get that moment, that's bull.
We all get that moment
because
because it's free on Peacock.
No, it's different.
It is a premium live event on the Peacock network.
I don't care
everywhere else.
But I mean, because we know we're not going to get Riddle Goldberg. That's just never going to happen. But are we going to see, or is it going to be, you guys can have a brief interaction, but Riddle, you got to get away from him. You got to move on to somebody else. Like, we're not doing that.
Let's be real. If Riddle's out there and Brock comes out of the pod, Brock's eliminating everybody that's out there. If he's last, he's doing all five. But if he's like third, he's eliminating whoever the first two are. So it could be Theory and Riddle, and then he just gets them out immediately.
Yeah. I really want to see a non-screwy finish Brock Bobby match. And I'd really like to see a non-screwy finish Riddle Brock match.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what those would be matches I'd want to watch.
But yeah, I think we're gonna get a wild finish, unfortunately, with this one. I think there's gonna be some sort of loss at the end of this thing.
It comes down to AJ Brock, and Reigns comes out, gets Brock eliminated, and AJ Styles goes to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Stone Cold. Now, if it's AJ Styles, Vince is gonna be like, "Wait, what did we just do? All right, call Hornswoggle."
I think there was some chatter about Edge and AJ Styles that they were gonna.
Because AJ said, "I want that moment."
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see that. I wouldn't be upset at that. That's
hell no!
That's a great.
I think that'll be a U.S. title match though, because I feel like AJ might get that from Priest before Mania.
Talk about somebody who's run out of steam.
Yeah, being a Priest,
and it's not his fault.
Usually
it's
it's booking in character. I don't like the character. The Jack Knight thing's dumb to me.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It doesn't work with anybody.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't say it doesn't work with anybody. But when you push, the thing has always been is that we always push them one way.
Yeah.
So like a heel pulling Jekyll and Hyde is going to work way smoother,
right,
than a face doing it.
Right.
I mean, that's legit. Because then just turn him heel, because he has the look. He can pull heel very, very
100%.
easily.
Yep.
He's smooth.
Wasn't he heel in NXT for a little bit?
Well, he did a lot of heel work on the Indies. I mean, he was a heel because he was Punishment. Punishment Martinez, yeah. Punishment Martinez, he was a heel in ROH at points. He was a heel in MCW at points. But I mean, if you let him be heel and then do the Jekyll and Hyde thing there, it's way easier to pull from heel, going to do the good guy thing for just a brief moment in time, and then coming right back to being a heel. Right. Face to heel is it's very difficult to pull.
All right, Jekyll and Hyde is a perfect segue into the way WWE books their women's matches. So we've got.
I don't think that's a good segment, but
no, but we're up against the clock again.
I know.
So we've got Liv Morgan, Doudrop, Bianca Belair, Nikki. Well, I don't know what they're calling it. Almost a supervillain.
Still almost a superhero.
Rhea and Alexa Bliss.
All right. Same question. Who do you have besides just Bliss?
Rhea.
That's me too. I did Rhea Bliss.
I have Rhea and Bianca.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah.
I'm sort of getting a.
Yeah, there's three in this
push
one.
at the same time.
Easily see three winning this one, and Bianca's the other. I just don't want to see Bianca Becky again.
Yeah, I kind of don't either. But I am a Bianca fan.
But you know what? The way that match was, when she dropped the title to Becky, I think you do owe them.
Yeah, like a real.
It's coming, right? Yeah,
like you owe them something, because if anything, Bianca's going to be around for a while.
Yes, sir.
She's going to be around for a while. I took Bianca and Bliss just because Bliss is coming back and it makes sense. I would much rather see. Right, I'd much rather see a Rhea Becky match. But I just don't think we're going to get to that point.
I don't, unfortunately. Right. But we're thinking about this wrong. Remember, it's going to be who's going to face Lita at Mania. So
then it's going to be Alexa, because Alexa wrestled Trish, yes?
Yeah, there you go.
So it makes sense that Alexa wins, because then it would be she would get to go after her girlhood.
There you go.
Heroes.
It all makes sense.
Damn it! I still got that pick right. Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, okay. We got through that faster than I thought. Obviously, picks are going to be at the end. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that now, because I can't do all the different colored texts anymore.
Really?
But no, I'm using a different program. My original editing program. Because if you notice if you were to watch any of my other YouTube ventures that involve me playing video games, I tend to do stuff like I do a lot of wipes, those kind of wipes, and they're completely gone from my videos. Yeah, I was like voguing.
I was gonna ask you if that's what it was,
but I can't do it anymore because the program I was using doesn't work on my laptop. Because I don't buy editing software. I just use whatever comes installed on the thing. Right. And I was using Movie Maker HD Movie Maker Pro, and it doesn't work on this laptop. So I just use I'm waiting for the program, just the regular video editor.
So one question I do have is, we've all we know what our picks are going to be and stuff like that. Is there any match in here that you would really just be like, to get me to my end game, I would much rather have this win? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Bliss versus Lita does make sense, so I could understand at that point. But like, even I don't want a title versus title match at WrestleMania. I don't want at all. I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't either. I know a lot of people are excited about that possibility. Yeah, I'm not into it.
But what you have them as two distinct brands.
Yeah.
You have way too much talent.
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep them on separate brands. Because first off, the guys that used to do it where they were traveling and what was it, Monday Night Raw, then you were taping on Tuesdays, and then you were on the road, and then Thursday and Friday you were doing house shows or whatever, those guys are going to get burned out again. I don't want to see that. And I think it just makes sense. Like, I would much rather see a Bobby AJ at WrestleMania with Brock somehow finagling his way into that match the way he wants it to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather it be Brock goes over to SmackDown, destroys everybody. You have no one left, Roman. Face me. Like, let it be that way.
You have a built-in thing with that too. Not that I would want to see them per se do this, but you have a built-in thing where Seth's like, I never lost to Roman, buddy, and I've beaten you a bunch too.
Yeah,
right. And then
you can do it that way.
So you get literally 3 of your biggest stars on it one shot. And I would much rather go that way, because a title versus title, we all know what happens then. Here, you hold both belts.
Right.
Monday comes around, it's the WrestleMania after, or Monday at Raw after WrestleMania. You know one of those titles is getting dropped. Whichever one it is, one's getting dropped that night.
I don't know why you do it, but you could unify them. But that'd be dumb because then one show doesn't have a main title.
All right.
I
love all of this, but we have 2 minutes to go, and there's one thing that I wanted to get to. So I know I'm stomping on everything. Okay, I got a text message from Shez earlier. There's a teacher, I don't know where he's from, but credit at Wallflower Perry, who during our wrestling club today, we had to watch Carmelo Anthony's title defense from last night. In school, they have a wrestling club.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. A wrestling club in school. We had
pariahs
for being wrestling fans.
We got made fun of.
They
got cool now. What do you mean?
I know, it's pissing me off.
I resent that wrestling it's cool to be a fan. I resent it with a passion.
My high school actually had backdoor wrestling groups where it was like groups of friends, and they would actually tape it.
Did you say backyard wrestling or backdoor wwrestling? Those are two very different things.
Backyard. But they had, like, we had one sect of friends that was doing it, and then another sect of friends that was doing it. And I mean, they were like, hey, let's do a crossover. Like, you come over and wrestle against us. We're having a ladder match. We're going to hang a belt in a tree and all this other stuff. And it was like legit, like they were really trying to do something with it. Obviously, it never went anywhere, but I mean, there was 5 people in my graduating class that had a wrestling saying as their senior club.
Oh my God.
Oh, God. All right. Well, we are.
If you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you.
Of course it was. I'm surprised it wasn't a CM Punk thing. All right.
He was
all right, so that's it. Shut up. We got to go. We are out of time. I'm a Big Papa Grump. We've been the Board of Doom, and we're actually going to get out of here before it cuts off.
Top presenter out.
And then we go into, hold on, I'm going to burp.
And Golden Boy's still not here. G4's Golden Boy shows up. All this stuff.
No. That means real people talk about real things. We don't have to listen to the nonsense about how Charlotte Flair and CM Punk is like a horrible person. CM Punk, this is all lies. All Golden Boys lies. Don't have to, we don't have to be corrupted by his filth.